Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time I'm looking at Captain America Issue 1, Legacy number 705. This is from the new 2018 series. This is called Winter in America Part 1 by Ta-Nehisi Coates on writing and art by Linnell Francis Yu. Anchor was Jerry Alagoulin, color artist Sonny Gao, letterer VC's Joe Caramunga, cover by Alex Ross. There's a whole bunch of variant covers, but I got the Alex Ross one. The art in here is actually really cool. I really like the style. It's not something that's easily done and pulled off well. The story, however, is a bit convoluted. We start off with some kind of terrorist attack by a bunch of Nuke soldiers. They're all cybernetic clones, I guess, of the original Nuke, and Cap is fighting them on the National Mall, and Bucky's helping him. Then they call in a MacGuffin, a Stark copter, which shoots some sort of field mission tracer rounds attuned to cybernetics or some nonsense. And then we see Cap save some people and do a bunch of stuff, some very dramatic posing of, people overcoming and whatnot. And then we get into this subplot with General Ross and Agent Carter. Ross doesn't want Cap being involved, and he says these are terrorists using the American flag, but we can't have somebody wearing the American flag for some reason, saying appearances matter. I don't understand that, because you'd think they would want somebody with the American flag fighting against people using it for nefarious purposes. Anyway, Ross doesn't want Steve involved, so he's recruiting Sharon Carter and Bucky Barnes, and Sharon's not going to give him any info, and there's a bunch of drama. Then we get some previews of various less than subtle PC nonsense in here, like we've got a chairman of the new task force on faith-based initiatives, so we gotta sneak that in, and they praised Von Strucker for aiding in the destruction of several Hydra splinter cells, and of course Von Strucker's a villain, so we're setting up the US government to be evil, and there's some slight covert digs at Trump, and the type of nonsense you'd expect. It's very well written, but it's very well written propaganda. So I have to say there's a lot of real subtle digs at the American government in here, and how Captain America feels misplaced in all of this, and there's obviously, I think Mr. Coates is having some difficulty writing Captain America because he doesn't know how to approach it. I think he likes the character, but in a way resents what the character stands for. I enjoyed about half of the book, and then it kind of lost its way and got into this sort of paranoid delusion, anti-government conspiracy that seems to infest a lot of Coates' work. Otherwise, the art was really good, but it felt like a propaganda piece, so I couldn't really enjoy it too much. But the first half of the book wasn't too bad. There is a crappy Fantastic Four gatefold cover in here, or it's a fold-out thing about Fantastic Four, and it's really annoying, and it's on really crappy paper, and I can tell it's going to come out of the binding. But back to the story, I didn't feel like this was anything I'm going to be too interested in. It was a bunch of nonsense dressed up as a story. The first part about the terrorist attack started off pretty well, but then it tries to be real meta, and I felt like it was trying to be Shakespeare in the Park, and it really comes off more as like a porn theater quality writing. So it's a pretentious way of trying to tell a subversively anti-American story. And of course, it's focused on the events of Secret Empire, which was widely hated, so I don't know why they're going back to that well when it was so hated. Like, just move on from it. Tell a different story. Tell a better story. It was just confusingly bad. So I don't know if I'll be picking up issue 2. I probably will just to check it out, but I was really disappointed with the story. I thought the art was fantastic. It was just kind of wasted on this meandering story that really harkens back to a worse story, and it's dressed up propaganda. So I wouldn't recommend it. If you find it for $1, maybe, but it's not worth the $5 cover price. If it had just been a straight superhero story or an adventure story of some kind, I probably would have recommended it, but there's all these cheap little political inserts that were completely unnecessary to the story, and I didn't think advanced the plot in any way or helped me want to buy the book again. So I don't think I'll be pursuing this one, unfortunately. It's just another hackneyed effort to wedge in politics in a comic book, so it's probably going to be a big miss for most people. But that's just my opinion. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. Be sure and hit like and consider subscribing so you don't miss any future reviews, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.